Hello everyone, this is Mayang Galuh Asoka, and today we will discuss about evaluation in English learning assessment. Okay, so more specifically, we will discussing about concept of evaluation, tools of evaluation, definition of the test, procedures in constructing tests, and then the last one is Bloom taxonomy. So without any further ado, let's start our discussion. Okay, the first material is about concept of evaluation. So what is exactly evaluation? So basically evaluation is the systematic process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information to determine the extent to which students have achieved instructional objectives. So basically, we as a teacher measure students' knowledge, measure the student learning outcome to identify their weakness and correct them to improvement their the subject or an activity they do. In language learning assessment, we have three concepts. That is the first one is measurement, and then assessment, and then the last one is evaluation. The first one is measurement. So basically the measurement here is used to measure the students' knowledge using a number. It is like scoring the knowledge of the students like that. And then the second is assessment. So assessment is defined as a series of tests that has been carried out and summarized into an unit. So assessment is a series of tests to scoring to measure the students' knowledge. So basically, after we use the test to students, we can know the result of the knowledge of the students, and we can categorize the students into some level, some grade, like that. And then the last one is evaluation. Evaluation is the final stage of learning assessment. So the process of inferring the result of learning. So the teacher must determine the students by giving a value. And then the next materials is tools in the evaluation. So there is two tools that we can use to evaluate the students. First one is test, and then the second is non-test. So basically the test is an assessment tool in the written form to record or observe students' achievement in the line with the assessment target. So it is like we observe the students by giving some tests, like the test can be writing, orally, or in action. So the test is used some question like that. And then the second is non-test. So non-test is the way to assessing students' learning outcome without any test. So it is can be an observation, interview, and then we can use questionnaire. So basically, non-test is a way to assessing the students by direct observation. Okay, so in the test evaluation, there are various kind of the tests according of some aspect. So the first one is according to its nature. So according to its nature, the test evaluation divided into two. There is verbal test and non-verbal test. The verbal test is a test that use a word, while the non-verbal test, a test use a diagram or picture. And then the second is according to its purpose. So according to its purpose, there are six kind of tests. The first one is aptitude test. It is test to measure their personality, the student's personality. And then the second is intelligence test, to measure the student's intelligence. And then the third is learning achievement test. It is to measure how the student's knowledge in the learning. And then the fourth test is a diagnostic test. And then the fifth is attitude test. And the last one is interest test. So it is to measure what students' interest. Next one is according to in terms of the object being test. There are two. The first one is individual test and then the group test. And then the last one is according to the form of the question, divided into two tests. The first one is the description test. It is more like about how we measure the students' perception, like that. And then the second is objective test. So in objective test, there has right and wrong answer. Okay, now we will discuss deeply about the test. Basically, the test is a series of questions that are used to determine a person's ability or understanding of something in a way and rules that have been determined. So the test here is a series question to measure the student's ability or understanding. Use a question. Okay, so in the next materials is about procedures in constructing a test. So in constructing a test, we have to pay attention to what learning outcome or level of thinking ability which will be measured or assessed. So the first procedures is about planning a test. So in the planning a test, we have to pay attention to what the purpose of the test. We have to define test objective to measure the extent to which students understand the lesson being taught, and then mark learning outcomes, and then we have to make specification table, the content criteria regarding the questions to be compiled, or description the material to be tested. Okay, and then the planning test, we have three aspects that we have to plan. The first one is the question type. So we have to make sure the type of question that we make the test, and then the number of the question, and then the difficulty of level. And then the second procedure is about preparing for the test. We have to prepare the question. So the test question must be according with the student learning outcome. Then the test must be free from ambiguity, and then must be free from Sarah. Okay, and then we have to prepare the instruction, a clear instruction about the test, so we do not lead the misunderstanding among the students. And then we have to prepare the answer key. And the third procedure is try the test. After the test is prepared, we have to try the test to passing the validity of the test. And then the last procedure is evaluating test. So this is the most important part of the contracting test, because evaluation is needed to determine the quality and the quantity of the test. Okay, the last materials is about Bloom taxonomy. So as a general, Bloom taxonomy is hierarchical structure or level that identifies thinking skills from low to high levels. And Bloom taxonomy is used as a teacher guide in completing questions to achieve learning outcome. Okay, now we have the Bloom taxonomy, the pyramid. So the thinking skills start from the low to the up. So it starts from remembering. It is like recalling a fact or idea. And then understanding is to be able to explain the concept or principle. And then applying is to able to solve a problem using a method. Analyzing to be able to describe or critique a structure. And then evaluating to be able to assess the work based on internal norms. And then synthesis, so the students are able to explain the pattern structure to provide their accurate solution. And then the last one is creating. It is to be able to produce something. Like the example, the students can write the essay, theories, classification, proposal, scientific writings, and the other. So the low other thinking skill from remembering to applying, and then analyzing to creating is high order thinking skill. So if you make a test, we have to pay attention to the lots and hots level, and we have to divide it, the test, the question into these two thinking skill like that. Okay, so this is the end of my explanation in today's discussion about evaluation in language learning assessment. So thank you for your attention. Goodbye.